Okay, something in English. Cool. Um, and have you been watching anything recently? Have you seen anything recently?
Yes. Um. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I watch a lot of TV, teacher. Now, what's the top of my head? I can't.
Okay. Julieta, welcome back to class. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
Okay. And what have you been reading recently?
Nothing. Mm.
Nothing?
I am finishing, but I don't know when I will. Um, the Adventure Academy thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. It definitely draws out at the end, huh? Um, what do you think about the end?
I didn't finish it. Uh,
But you're like
my
towards the end.
imagination. Yeah. Mm, I don't know because they are with uh, two people that they are mm, like scoundrels, you know,
Okay.
and they they they, they met a family, and those family are killing each other.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how it will be the end.
Okay. So it's yeah. Mark Twain would yell at me for saying this, but think about it as kind of like a small piece of U.S. history. Like they're kind of traveling through
Yeah,
time in a way.
I know that.
Yeah.
I
Um,
really like the description of
the description of place is really good too. But yeah, so super good. Just the end. You're not quite there yet, but it gets really annoying because it's like
Okay.
it's so slow, but it's meant to be. So it's like it was an intentional thing. So I just keep that
Hmm.
in mind, I guess, when they're yeah, I can't give away too much. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the end of it. Funny old book. Also, welcome to class. Who came in next? Susan, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Um,
Hello, guys.
S-
Hello.
Susan, I don't recognize your name,
Um,
but
I think I have had just one class. It's been over a week, and then that's my next class with you.
okay. Okay, well, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Where are you
Thank
from,
you.
Susan?
Brazil.
Okay, Brazil. Yeah, welcome to class. How was your weekend so far? Or how's your weekend been going?
Good, very good. Busy.
Okay,
It was good.
nice. Well, good to see you again. And Wilson, welcome back. How's it going?
Fine, fine. I'm doing fine. Waiting for this class. It'll be the first time I will attend a short story class. I don't know how it is, but okay, I'm here.
Okay. So it's generally a lot of reading.
A lot of reading. Okay.
Yeah. This one is going to be interesting for you. You picked an interesting one to join. It's a little bit strange. So we'll see. We'll see
Okay.
how you like it. Um, Ksenia, welcome back. How's it going?
Fine, fine.
And yeah, Ksenia, what are your plans for Sunday?
It will be my usual Sunday routine. First, gym. Second, McDonald's.
Okay, it's the gym and the McDonald's. What are you gonna get at McDonald's?
We have a new menu. It's like steak burger. I'm gonna try it.
Okay, a steak burger.
Yes.
Um, okay, cool. And Wellington, welcome to class. How's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And yeah, Wellington. So how have you been?
Good, good. A little lazy.
A little lazy?
Yeah, yeah. I want
Okay.
to go out, but I don't know.
Okay. Just stuck at home. I can't leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I am looking now for outside of my through my window, and so I don't know. Maybe after this class.
Good. Okay, cool. Um, and yeah, well, good luck. Hopefully you get the motivation to leave. Um, but I think we're good. Let's get started with today's class. Like I said, it's going to be maybe a little bit strange, but hopefully you guys like it. So this first story, uh, let's start with Anna Carolina. Can you read the title and that first paragraph till Angel?
100 Apocalypse and Mother Apocalypses. Lucy Corin. Cake. She baked an angel food cake for the dinner party, which means it's as white as is possible in cake except golden on the outside, and you have to cut it with a serrated knife. It's fun to eat because you can kind of tear it, unlike most cake. It stretches a little, it's a little supernatural, like an angel.
Good. It stretches a little.
It stretches a little.
Yeah, stretches. And maybe serrated. Serrated.
Serrated.
Good. Serrated knife. I think that sounded good. Any questions here?
No.
Okay.
What's serrated knife mean?
Okay. A serrated knife is a knife that's got like teeth, kind of. So it's a knife that looks like that.
The
Does that make
knife.
sense?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Wow, that's just a perfect knife. Good. And let's have Julieta. Can you read the next paragraph?
I was watching her with her boyfriend because I admire them, and I'm trying to make them an example in my life of good love being possible. Toward the end of the cake, everyone was talking, and a couple of people were seeing if they could eat the live edible flowers that she'd put on the cake for decoration. A fairy cake. She told a story about making the cake. There wasn't a lot left. Everyone was eating the ends of their pieces in different ways, and because of this that stretchy texture, there were more methods than usual, and no crumbs at all.
Good. Okay. So this is like really kind of dense. Does anybody have any questions here?
A stretchy texture. I didn't get this meaning, and because of the stretch texture, there were.
Okay. So something that's stretchy. So if this is like the normal size and shape, if it's stretchy, it gets bigger and it also can be compressed. So stretchy can be pulled to be wider. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Stretchy. Yes, that's stretchy. Any other questions?
Crumbs?
Crumbs. Crumbs are, so if you've got like the cake and you've got like little tiny crumbs all over, just like extra bits. Make sense?
Yes, also for bread.
For bread?
Mhm.
Yeah, generally crumbs are like bread, cakes. You can also, yeah, I mean like crumbs of vegetables, any like small bit of something. Any other questions? All right. So this first sentence is kind of loaded. Can anybody like try to tell us what this first sentence means?
Try what? Sorry.
Can anybody explain what this sentence means? This first sentence, like what's she saying here?
That
Yeah.
he or sorry,
Go ahead, please.
he or she, I don't know,
Hmm.
is watching a couple because for them it is an example of true love, maybe.
Yeah, or even like good love being possible. So like deducing from this, we probably get the sense that the narrator is kind of lonely. Yeah. And let's have Ksenia, can you read the next bit?
Really funny cake. I tried to imagine making the cake, same as I often try to imagine love. I would never make a cake. So it's down to, say, less than a quarter of the cake, and the boyfriend reached across the table. It's a big table that no one else would be able to reach across. He just had really long arms, and he takes a serrated knife. But when he cuts at the cake, he doesn't do the song action, he just presses down, which defeats the point of a serrated knife.
Good. Serrated.
Serrated.
Good. Any questions here? Okay. Really, if you think about this sentence, it's a really nice juxtaposition between these two things, these two ideas. And let's have Susan. Can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, the cake squishes and he cuts it in half. It was only a piece of itself already, clinging to its imaginary axis, and now it's not even a wedge. It pushed down like you can push down the nose of your face. And then he takes his piece with his hands, and I watch the last piece of the cake to see if it's all springing back up. But it doesn't. It just squished on one side like someone stepped on it.
Good. If it'll. To see if it'll.
If it all. Okay.
Yeah, to see if it'll, and then it's just.
It's just.
Yeah, and the cake squishes as he cuts it.
Okay. As he cuts it.
Good.
Is it axis? Axis? Imaginary after imaginary?
Yeah, the axis. Can anybody describe what an axis is?
I don't know what is. What does that mean?
It's like the... Okay.
Go ahead.
It's the main point of anything. But in mathematics, it's like x and y axis.
Yeah, so an axis is like the basic, like, alineation of something. So we have like the x-axis and the y-axis in mathematics. If you've got like an object, its axis would be like the way it's oriented, so like right up and down.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, you know, clinging to its imaginary axis, like its center point, like the way it's oriented, isn't like up and down. And now it's like it's just really malformed now. So now it doesn't really have much of an axis. Any other questions? Okay, Wellington, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes. But here's what I don't understand. It's how, although which she's just chatting with the dinner guests, and it's like he's done nothing at all. She's not looking at him like you squished the cake, and she's not looking at him like he loves the cake so much he couldn't help himself, and he doesn't seem to be thinking, only I can squish the cake, or is he?
Okay, good. That sounded really good. Maybe, and he doesn't seem to be thinking only I can squish the cake, or is he? Can you repeat that last part?
Yeah. And he doesn't seems to be thinking, only I can squish the cake, or is he?
Only I can squish the cake.
Only I. Okay.
Yeah. So it's more of like a big statement. We want to emphasize the subject.
Okay.
Only I can squish the cake. And then, or is he? Can you repeat, or is he?
Or is he?
Good, nice. And does anybody
Together.
have any?
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions here? Okay. And let's have Wilson. Can you read the last paragraph, or the last two paragraphs?
Okay. I never know how to read people, but here's what else. Watching the round cake disappear, watching the people trying to make the most of their pieces, people coveting the cake on one hand and reminding themselves, on the other hand, that this will not be the last cake. But will it be the last? I look at their love and I feel like this could be the very last piece of it on earth. And just look at it.
Awesome. And just look at it.
Look at it.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions here?
No.
Okay. So this is the end of the story. So that was a short story, a very short story. Anna Carolina, what did you get out of that? What happened here?
Teacher, why me? Ah, teacher.
You can, Anna.
No, no, it's not fair.
It's not fair? Why not?
Because I can't. Oh my gosh.
Alright.
They are
Juliet,
talking about a cake that is kind of weird because it is it has a stretchy texture,
yeah, it has a stretchy texture. That's good.
and there is someone who aims a couple somehow.
There's a couple.
There is a couple and someone who aims the couple.
And someone
Mm,
who envies the couple?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Huh? Yeah.
And there is a guy who did something to the cake.
Yeah,
He
so the guy
he smashed the cake, and the
who
person who was watching couldn't imagine that it would happen. I guess that's it. Something.
Okay, good.
Am I right?
Basically, yeah. I think that's the basic idea. There's a guy who is the boyfriend
Yes.
of the girl who baked the cake.
Yes,
Um,
the couple that the other person was envy.
yeah. Okay, so basically that is what happened. Francisco, really quickly, welcome to class. How's it going?
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, teacher.
Nice. And welcome to class. You missed the first story, um,
Yes.
but we'll get back to you with the next one, maybe, or the one after that. Julieta, what do you get out of this story?
Mm. That love was not the perfect love,
Uh-huh.
and then everyone wants a piece of cake.
Okay, so everyone wants a piece of cake. Go back to your idea of love.
Yeah.
What, yeah, go back to that.
Mhm. Yes, because at the first sight you can think they are perfect, but they are not. and there is one that is condescending, and the other one that is indifferent.
I'm not sure if I completely grasp what you're trying to say.
Hmm.
I don't understand necessarily what you're trying to say.
Because once was perhaps, I don't know, can I say, um, when someone wants more of what he need, maybe.
Ah, when somebody wants more than what they need. So, okay. What do we get up from the narrator? Like who look at this line is a really good one.
Mhm.
This line is really important at the end. And this line is really important. Yeah. I don't Yeah, like what do we get from the narrator? Like who is this narrator?
The narrator is a guest and is looking at them, watching people.
Huh? Is watching maybe the host
The
and her
host
boyfriend?
and her boyfriend.
Yeah. Maybe Ksenia, what else do we get about the narrator? Who is this girl? Or
Actually,
boy?
the story it's a comparison between cake and love.
Uh-huh.
So, girl tried to bake this cake, and her boyfriend at once squashed it. So, and it's the how to say? I don't know. So, and in love the same. Maybe girls trying to do everything is possible for her boyfriend, and her boyfriend isn't so careful about her. I think it's just a comparison.
Okay, good. But we also get this idea that the person who makes the cake doesn't care. She's not looking at him like you squished the cake, and she's not looking at him like,
Oh,
oh,
and
you.
maybe it's just a artificial couple. Maybe it's convenient to be with each other for society, but in real, they're not so great.
Okay. What if you made a cake and your boyfriend cut the cake without using the serrated knife properly? So he kind of squished the cake when he cut it. Would you?
I'm going to kill them. Him.
Okay. Okay, maybe that was a bad example. I forgot you liked baking a lot. Um, so I think a good way of looking at this is it is just the narrator. She's putting way too much into this cake metaphor, and she's like really worried that she will be lonely and that love won't find her, and if it does find her, it'll be like crooked. And obviously, there's a lot more to it, but yeah. So I think we get the basic idea that we've got a really lonely narrator, and she's like confused about love, and she would never make a cake, even though she's like comparing it to love, and this idea of her not being able to put herself in a situation of love too. So she like kind of wants it, but also is kind of afraid of it. Yeah, but good. Nice job picking out the metaphor. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments about this first story?
I just find interesting how she says that she watches the cake disappear, and she
Yeah.
realizes that um, people are trying to get the most of their pieces. So it's kind of like when she realized that is loving disappearing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Nicely done. Okay. And yeah, this will not be the last cake. Like maybe this won't be the last love, but like, will it be the last?
yeah, so she
And is
makes
it?
the question.
Yeah, that's really good. I think it's really nicely done. Okay. Yeah, that too, Julieta. Everyone wants a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and kind of always worry that it'll be the last one. Okay, really well done. Any other questions or comments on this first story?
No.
Okay. Let's look at this next one. Really short story. Susan, can you read the whole next story?
What a long story. The 4th of July. Got there, and the ground was covered with bodies. Lay down with everyone and looked at the sky, bracing for the explosions.
Nice. Okay, Wellington, what's happening here?
Yeah, I think they were celebrating the 4th of July, and something very bad happened, and because these bombs can could be exploded, injure people.
Okay. Okay. Close. It's a little bit different. Yeah, that's playing with that idea though. Wilson, can you try to explain?
Okay, I will read the sentence literally. Okay, I think it was the 4th of July. A lot of fireworks. People lay
Huh?
down, look at the sky, and appreciate the fireworks. Is that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Fireworks. Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
And maybe the guy is playing with the idea with dead bodies and
Mm-hmm.
the okay, it's celebrating something, but sometimes you don't have something to celebrate, okay? And so the bodies, dead bodies, and lay down, look at the sky, explosions. It's a
Nice.
short story, a lot of meaning.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I was
Really.
tragic.
You were a little bit tragic. What do you
Very
think about?
tragic.
Yeah. What do you think about it now? Like, what do you think? Yeah, you could tie it to the idea of apocalypses, um, or just anything. Like, what do you get out of the story, Wilson? Wellington, sorry, Wellington.
No, sorry, answer again. Ask again.
Okay, so what do you get out of the story? Like, what's happening? We know. What do you think it means? Does it mean anything? How does it tie to apocalypses? Yeah, is there anything else you can add, like thoughts about the story?
No, I think that everything was said. My answer, I think it was a little tragic because I was reading, watching news from CNN,
Yeah.
and there we find a lot of drama.
Yeah. Okay. For sure, in CNN you find a lot of drama. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add on this story? Anything they want to say? Anything else?
I just think that the fact that the author used the sentence with the ground was covered with bodies, I
Uh-huh.
don't think it really means that was a bad thing because, for example, the ground could be covered with money and that wouldn't be bad. So, and the fact that it's of bodies, it doesn't mean they are dead. So I think it was just like a way that he used that's neutral to say that people are just enjoying the fireworks.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. So definitely not dead bodies. It's a word that is associated with dead bodies, especially when they're paired with explosions. And yeah, it's a nice pair because it kind of misleads you. But yeah, a body is just a body. It doesn't mean it's dead. Yeah, I think I agree. I really like this little one. Anybody else with anything to add or say? Okay. And let's have Ana Carolina. Can you read the title and the first paragraph of this next one?
Miracles. We watched our father take the jar out to the patio. Sorry. On the day we had been waiting for ever since he put the spider into it with its zigzag. It was a black widow. It was a black widow spider which we knew never to touch in the garden, and to know by the red bow on its belly. Bo,
Mhm.
we'd been living in the country since our starky, raving mad mother started calling the apartment from her orbit. Our father lay down near the jar on his side. He was always showing us stuff around the farm.
Nice. Okay, let's look at patio.
Patio, patio,
Patio.
patio.
Okay. And questions in this first bit.
Yes,
Hmm.
hold on. It's sec. What is a sec?
Stark? Oh,
Sec.
egg sac. So like a sack is just like a something that holds something else. It's like a container almost. And so an egg sac is just like a container of eggs. So spiders lay egg sacs. Does that make sense?
Yes, and Starkey raving.
Does anybody know what stark raving means? Any ideas? Nobody knows what the stark raving mother is?
No.
Okay. So stark is like very clearly so something that's stark is something that's like easily visible. Raving is like talking manically.
Okay. And
Um,
and I don't understanding uh, what she was, what she started doing.
yeah, so she started calling the apartment from her orbit. Her orbit, if somebody's like out to orbit, they're not in the right spot mentally. They're crazy, and so she's somewhere else, both physically and mentally. And we get the idea that she's calling the apartment, and so she's like either harassing them or stalking them or doing something that's not good. It's not very
So
clear. Yeah.
are they in an apartment or in a farm?
They were an apartment. They moved to the farm because the mother was calling.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'd been living in the country. We had been living in the country
Okay.
since this thing happened.
Okay. Thank you. Now I've got it.
Okay, good questions. And I'm sure they're questions that almost everybody has, so it's definitely tricky. Any other questions here in this first part?
Okay, a simple question. What is jar near the jar?
A jar. Does anybody know what a jar is?
It's a recipient when you put juice and water.
Yeah. Whoa, that is
Nice
so
drawing.
Yeah, if we remove this part of the jar, this could be a jar and it has stuff in it. It's like cookies. It could have cookies in it. Be the cookie jar. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. And any other questions?
One question. Stuff. Stuff is uncountable.
Stuff?
Stuff. Yeah, showing us stuff around
Yeah.
the farm. Yeah.
Stuff would be uncountable. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, he's showing us stuff. Things. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah. And
I
let's
can't
try.
understand. Sorry.
Go
But I
ahead.
can't understand the spider.
Okay, the black widow spider.
Mhm.
Does anybody know what a black widow spider is?
I think
No,
it's the
it's a
most
famous
poisonous.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, a black widow spider is just a really poisonous, not pleasant-looking spider. That the females have those like strangely shaped hourglass red marks on their stomachs. And so he has a black widow spider, which they've put in a jar. Yeah, so they've got the black widow spider that they've put in a jar.
Why?
Because they're poisonous, and if they're in the garden, you just don't want black widow spiders around. So I think, I mean, in this case, the dad is trying to show them stuff, and I think he's trying to show them about black widow spiders, and the egg sacs, and like how spider eggs hatch. Does that make sense?
Mm-mm.
No or yes?
Yes, but okay.
Okay. I was trying to put a picture here, and now my program is frozen. I'm really sorry about this.
I posted a picture on the
Okay.
chat box.
Thanks. Yeah, see, I was trying to post a picture on the page, and clearly it was a bad idea because my program's not working. So I'm going to have to close it, and I'll get back. So you're going to see my face in a second, I think. If I can even close it. Close the program. Sorry. Well, anyway, sorry about the break. Does anybody else have any other questions about the first paragraph, which we can discuss a lot for the moment? Whew, man. Okay, so no other questions. Do. Sorry. Okay. Okay. And let's have, I think we're with Francisco. Can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, teacher. He was growing a beard, always tired and patient. There was a barn with a horse in it we were taking care of. We said a lot about learning to take care of others as a part of growing up, and we watched him with eyes too big for our heads. We gathered around the jar and put our noses to it in turn, looking for the movement he said to look for in the exact. How you could see it? How you could see it? It was time by shadows crossing. crossing.
Yeah. How you could see it was time by shadows crossing.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that one more time?
How you could see it? Uh, how you could see it was time by shadows crossing.
Yeah. And so we want to just emphasize the important words, how you could see it was time, how you
You
could
could,
see it was time
how you could
by
okay. How
shadows
you could
crossing.
see it was time by shadows crossing. Right.
Good. Um, nice. Questions here.
Shadows crossing. I don't understand very well.
Okay. It's a little bit tricky. He's saying they're looking at the egg sac and they're trying to see when the spiders are going to come out of the egg sac. And they're told when you can see the shadows, like the dark things, is what would be a shadow in this case. So dark things crossing or like going behind one another or moving around inside. And so the shadows would be the little tiny spiders, and their crossing would be like them moving around in the egg sac.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
So, um, to watch something with eyes too big for our heads, uh, it means that they were very interested in or curious or something like that.
Yeah, like this idea of being curious, too big for your heads. Um, this is tricky too because he's teaching them things and they're watching him with eyes too big for their heads. It's a little bit poetic. So they're really curious. They're taking everything in. That kind of idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like really wide-eyed and whatever connotations that kind of brings with you. Um, yeah, so I hate to like make definite statements about things like that because I think that's purposely a little bit vague, and so it's kind of what you get out of it as well. Any other questions?
Can it be that they cannot understand?
That too. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Julieta, can you read the next paragraph?
We were getting a little bored when the babies started to come out just like he said. They were smaller than anything, and the big mother spider, you couldn't tell if she was paying attention. The babies were spreading out over the inside of the jar, the miracle of life. They were making their ways to the air holes punched in the lid. Our father just watched and commented for our benefit. He put a stick on to an air hole, and we watched baby crawl up it. Spiders crawl their whole lives.
Yeah, their whole lives.
Their whole lives.
Babies.
Babies.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Any questions here?
Punched in the lid.
So if you punch a hole, it's like poking a hole or making a hole in something. So generally, if we're talking about holes, we're punching them. We punch holes.
Watch it, babies crawl up it. What is this?
So can anybody explain that?
It's like it's like the babies do. They don't walk. The babies they don't walk. They crawl over the floor in a slowly pace.
Yeah. So using your hands and your legs to crawl. Spiders crawl. It's like the way that they move, the way that they walk. They use all of their limbs to move. That would be crawling. And the dad puts a stick next to the air hole. So the baby spiders are escaping the jar which we don't have anymore. My drawing is gone. So the baby spiders are escaping the jar through the air holes, and then they go onto the stick, and they're climbing up the stick. Does that make sense?
Okay, it's clear.
Okay. Any other questions here? Okay. Susan, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes. He stopped at the word. Okay.
That's where we start.
Okay. So he started. We watched, right?
Yeah.
We watched, but some of the attention wandered. We were new to the countryside, new life surrounding us. I remember a lot of things from that place besides this. After the apocalypse, a brother of mine said, "Do you remember if we were nervous with all those poison spiders radiating from the jar? Do you remember that we didn't have any insect prey because we'd just moved out of there, but he had a can of hairspray, and that's what he sprayed on them, just as they were getting away." Why did we have hairspray? Was it hers?
Good. Why did we have hairspray? Can you repeat the question? Why did we have hairspray? Was it hers?
Why did we have a hairspray? Was it hers?
Good. We just moved out there.
We just moved out there.
Good. Radiating.
Radiating.
Good. Okay. And awesome. So what happened? What are we talking about? First of all, questions. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, radiating? Spiders radiating from the jar. What's that mean?
Because go ahead, please. So there was the apocalypse, and because these the animals, the insects were contaminated.
Ooh, really good idea. Not quite.
No
I
quite?
think it's spreading out.
Yeah. We're just talking about a way of movement here. So it's spreading out from the jar. It's not contamination from the apocalypse. The apocalypse is a little bit more vague. We don't know what kind of apocalypse it was. Just an apocalypse. And so, the spiders, this is also before the apocalypse. So whatever apocalypse happened, this happened before. This is when she was a child.
Okay.
The spider's just spreading from the jar. Like the idea of radiating, it's like spreading kind of in all directions.
Okay.
Too. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Wellington, what is happening?
What's happening?
Yeah, what's the story?
I think that they are talking about the past when they move on to the countryside, and in that time their parent show us things, stuff.
Okay, what is he showing them in this story?
In this case, the birth of the spiders.
The birth of spiders. Poisonous spiders.
Poisonous, yeah.
Yeah. Good. So, taking them out to the countryside. Why did they go to the countryside?
Because their mother was sick, mad.
Yeah, it was sick. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe harassing them in some sort of way. Okay, good. And Wilson. So, what happened to the spiders?
What happens? Um, okay, I think there was a lot of small spiders, baby spiders,
There were.
and they get rid of the jar, or they escape from the jar, and they spread all over. And the guys didn't have anything to kill or a spray to kill the spiders.
Okay.
They only had hairspray, I think.
They didn't have bug spray. They
Hmm.
did have hairspray.
Hairspray, yes.
Do you think the hairspray killed this? Like the hairspray, what was the hairspray for?
Uh, it's for the hair. It's-
Let's look, and that's so the idea. That's what he sprayed on them. So if we're looking at that, just as they were getting away, he sprayed them with hairspray. Did the hairspray kill them?
Beg your pardon?
So I guess in this sense, the hairspray killed the spiders. The hairspray
The hair.
replaced the bug spray to kill these spiders.
Okay.
Okay. What's the last question? Who is hers?
The mother.
Yeah. So hers is the mother. Good. And all right. Going on, why is that the last question? Anybody? Was it hers the last question?
Because the mother is insane, she'd probably be mad because of it.
Okay. Definitely the mother's insane.
She can't
Maybe
use
she'd
it
be.
anymore.
Sorry?
She can't use the spray anymore.
Yeah. What's the spray doing?
Usually you use it for comb your hair,
Yeah, for like fixing your hair.
fixing your hair.
Yeah. In this case, it's being used
Showing the spiders,
to kill what kind of spiders?
the babies.
Baby spiders.
To
Yeah.
kill or to shoot?
To kill them. So these are really poisonous spiders, and the dad is letting them kind of get away, and then he's using a can of hairspray to kill them, just as they were getting away. Yeah.
So it's not a reason that she killed the spiders. She run away. It was just showing them.
We didn't have any insect spray because we just moved out there, but he had a can of hairspray, and that's what he sprayed on them just as they were getting away. Just as they were getting away implies that they did not get away. So if you do something just as they were getting away, yeah, the implication is definitely death. It definitely
I
implies.
thought that to get away with something meant no punishment, nothing bad
The
happened.
as the as they were getting away.
Gosh.
So it's like they're on the point of it. So you've got like this radius of death, and so we've got all the spiders. They're like kind of on the border of getting away. They're really, really close. They're being killed as they're getting away. They don't get away. They don't actually get away. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's good. What we're playing with here, or what Lucy Corrin's playing with here, is the mother. We've got the mother widow spider, kind of being used as a metaphor for the girl's mother. So somebody who she's never supposed to touch, really dangerous. Also, the baby's getting away, being killed by their mother's hairspray. So, yeah, they're going in between that little space. Does anybody have any questions on the story?
So, how do you pronounce wondered? Attention, wondered.
Wandered. Our attention wandered.
What would that mean?
Wandered is like it was not focused. We were not focused on the thing. We were looking at other things too. We were not only watching the baby spiders. We were looking
Oh,
around.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. We are just about out of time. Did you guys like these stories? Or
A lot.
were they?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like to.
The only thing that I don't understand is the where it is written that they killed. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, don't be sorry. Yeah, and I mean they're all really open stories, so you can kind of interpret them as you'd like. There's a lot of meaning and layers, and like really small ones. Yes, the author is alive. This is a new book she published, and so it's 100 Apocalypses and Other Apocalypses is the title of the book itself. And so it's a whole book of these stories. Some of them are longer than others. Yeah, and some of them are shorter.
Yes, for me it was a little bit difficult to understand at the first reading. I need to read twice, 3 times to get all the meaning, but it was a nice exercise. Advanced for sure
Okay.
exercise.
I will soon. Believe me, you are not alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely tougher. Hopefully, yeah, if you had questions, you asked them. Hopefully I could help. Yeah, I really like these stories. I think they're some of my favorite, like little short stories. They're really good. Um, yeah, okay. And thanks again for coming in. Hopefully I'll see you guys again soon and have a really good day.
Okay, thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.